What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Monday beginning week edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Had to catch myself because I thought NBA might be attached. It's not. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised of great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Yes, I'm looking forward to the NBA Finals. Yes, I think it'll be a short 4 games, but that is neither here nor there. We'll cover that at the end of week. Indy, can you make it competitive? That would be enjoyable, but that is neither here nor there. What is here is MLB, and mostly MLB only until we get to the NFL season. It's going to be a long time. Obviously, we'll have those 4 or 5, God willing, 6, 7 games to be able to bet on with OKC and Indy. But MLB, that's been the focus of my life here for the last couple of weeks. And boy, has it gone well as we've trimmed down the responsibilities and just focusing in on the MLB streets. In fact, Friday was the best MLB betting day of my entire season. Not entirely on this video, although Cal Raleigh became a trend. Friday hits a homer for us. Saturday hits a homer for us. Sunday hits a homer for us. 3 times I've bet Cal Raleigh this entire year. It's been the last 3 days, and he homered in every single one. He's a go. But not only that, we got a plus 1,500 Jose Caballero bomb, which was like the only damn thing anybody did against Framber Valdez on Friday in the premium Discord. That was useful. And then Lindy's long balls up over 5 units here as we finished out the month of May. Started May 1st for that. Over 5 units, quarter unit per play, up to plus 1,000, 0.1 units above plus 1,000. And boy, oh boy, was it a nice start to that segment. Check out my MLB Lindy's long balls recap over on X that I will be covering tomorrow morning before I release that short and thread in the afternoon. But obviously we keep ourselves accountable here. Lindy 5 in the premium Discord, they keep me accountable every single day because I'm working my tail off. But with MLB only, it was awesome with strikeout props over the weekend. It was awesome, specifically Friday with everything hit for me across the board. Saturday over 9.5 there, Arizona, Washington. You had the Chicago Cubs ended up playing a -1 for the first time, but only 7 games on the card here, which is why I'm taking a longer intro than normal. Lindy 5 is how you join the Discord down below. We also have Lindy 1 for Portfolio EV. I'll talk about both, but we got the leans that we cover first. Then we get to the likes and locks. There are no locks on the card here, but hopefully Ryan Yarbrough goes yard for us. Not yard, he is a pitcher. Hopefully he goes over 3.5 strikeouts plus money attached to it. That was a ridiculous line. Hopefully Ryan Yarbrough keeps the strikeout good times rolling for us there on Sunday. That game just got underway, but I'm here to cover these games for you now. Producer Jacob's ready to rock. I'm ready to roll. Let's get to the picks. As I said before, we're about to put leans on the board, but how Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks works. If it's your first time joining us here because NBA is dwindling down, hit the like button. Obviously, WNBA is something that I want to be not necessarily covering, but I'm definitely going to be betting and tailing some other sharp people, trying to intertwine maybe my own analysis as we're paying attention to lines because, well, even though it's not a sport I watch a ton or that I have time to watch a ton, there's a lot of money to be made. But no matter how the criteria works anywhere else in the industry, this is how things work on my video. Lean, not yet a play. It's bright red there for a reason. Not yet a play, pause. It can become a play. I usually talk about where I have the true odds predicted at and then where I want them to move to before we bet them. The likes, those are plays. Quarter unit, that's going to be your typical home run bet, 0.25 units of whatever your bankroll is. So that's going to be 0.25% of that bankroll allocation. You know, if you have 4 home run plays, which is usually what Lindy's long balls is, that's going to be a full unit there that you're going to play on that specific day. On this program, obviously, I'll cover some homers. I have a couple of prospective homers in the lean department. The odds aren't out. I do have an idea of kind of where they're going to land based on some offshore stuff, but either way, up to 1 unit, so 0.99 units, anything that's short of that 1 unit mark, that's going to go in the light category. So if it's, minus 200, a unit put on it still, it would go in the lock section, although you've never seen me with a minus 200 on anything on this program, that's for sure. Almost 99.99999% of my bets are going to be better than minus 180 or just inside of that number. So you're going to see everything in the premium Discord inside of that number. I don't think they've seen a single thing posted at minus 200 the entire season. Anyway, locks, those are going to be things that are my favorite plays on the board. You're not going to see a home run show up in the lock category, although last year we did have 2-0, Kyle Schwarber, Cal Raleigh. Ironically enough, I think Corey Seager, I didn't actually lock that, but did say 2 home runs, and he went for 2 home runs. So that was enjoyable. Locks, those are going to be my favorite plays that exist on the board, period. Full stop. Those are going to be rare, few and far between. Obviously, last week, Nice to have Detroit money line just convert. It was nice to just have a sweatless, brainless Detroit money line lock win. That was useful, but those are going to be over 1 unit. So if it's 1.02 units to win 1 unit there because it's -102, that would go in the lock category. Hopefully that helps you. Trying to make sure that we keep our bankroll intact here throughout the entire MLB season, not try to overexpose ourselves to any one day. The word overexpose is kind of weird, but you know what's not? Lindy 5. Let's talk about that. The premium Discord friends, this is how you jump in and get all of my plays no matter what. Leans that become likes that become locks. Things that I don't even talk about on this program that become clear to me, like DJ Hall last Friday. That was very, very useful to everybody, including we had just like Merrill Kelly strikeouts along with CJ Abrams strikeout parlay. That's a thing you can do on Bet365 Flip. I had no idea that you could do that. Well, that's what Friday and MLB only will do for you. We have tons of great plays day in, day out, pick'em cards, bets, everything you could possibly want. And it's not just myself. It's Eitan Shander, Greg Ehrenberg giving you the best analysis in the industry. And for only $5 to check it out for a week, Lindy 5 down below. Great time to join. Alrighty, y'all. Let's get to the leans, shall we? Again, making this video last, making it work for it here. You got 4 leans on the card. We've got 3 plays, actually 1 that I haven't played yet. So 2 technical plays, 1 that's a lean like I just don't know which direction I want to go, or maybe I go both. Maybe we just end up parlaying it. I don't know what to make of it, but I do know what to make of Max Meyer getting to go up against the Colorado Rockies. Now, the Colorado Rockies, when you put their projected lineup out now, it looks much differently because one omission. Michael Toglia got sent down to AAA. He is not with the big league club. I don't know why I said club, but we got Tyler Freeman now, who's going to be up there. And first base day in, day out could be a combination of Kyle Farmer, who's not really a strikeout guy. We now have a shortstop in Orlando Arcia, who did go yard today on Sunday, showing up here. Just 26 batted ball events now for the Colorado Rockies this season, or not even for the Rockies, for everybody between Atlanta and there. I just don't know what to make of this Colorado Rockies strikeout upside, which is why this isn't a play here yet. We just got some numbers that started dropping. I want to see it, but Keston Hiura is the big question mark for me. Keston Hiura was with the Milwaukee Brewers back in the day. He is a strikeout maniac, and he can play second, he can play first, he can play all over the infield. And I think he's going to have a lot of utility if Colorado wants to give him a free trial up here. Now, it's been pretty decent for him at AAA at times, but Toglia is going down to AAA to go work on things and, just kind of live out his days because the Colorado Rockies are terrible. As for the Miami Marlins, just a couple of lineup notes. They end up getting Xavier Edwards back in the lineup here on Sunday. Never going to hit for power, ever, ever, ever. But he is definitely one of those guys who is speedster and has the ability to just put himself on base, even though his expected batting average is way worse than I remember it being. 241 expected batting average for the leadoff guy. He'll still continue to lead off for them. Still somebody who has hit equity. 292 expected slugging is just awful, though, so don't expect anything good there. But the 282 actual batting average, 41 points difference. He's one of those slap-happy guys who can get yourself on base, but I don't think that's going to have me backing Miami at these current prices. Kerry Carpenter gets to go up against the White Sox. Looks like okay hitting weather. And we have really good hitting weather for what it's worth as I started some of my projections earlier this afternoon on Sunday. We got Fenway. Looks okay with the wind blowing out. We've got Great American Ballpark. Even though the wind's slightly in, it looks warm. Rate Field. This is kind of where it gets interesting to me because I do think even though the wind's blowing out to left, it is out. And I think even if you pull the ball, it's not going to necessarily kill it. And that's kind of important when you're talking about a guy like Kerry Carpenter, who gets to go up against this Jonathan Cannon fellow who just doesn't have it. Sub 18% K rate, 45% hard hit, 16.3 degree launch angle. Jack Flaherty himself, I think there's actually some equity going to like a Edgar Quero or an Andrew Benintendi, but I don't love that one as much as I love getting to the guaranteed nine innings of at-bats here for the MLB leading wins Detroit Tigers. Oh my goodness. It's just insane to see them at the top of the board there. But Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, they're routinely near the top one anytime they're going to face a righty. The main reason you're getting Kerry Carpenter up there higher than Riley Green, and the odds are generally worse on him, is he's 1, a leadoff hitter, and 2, has a 10-degree better launch angle than that of Riley Green. Keep that in mind when you're looking at odds night before, or if Riley Green gets hot. The hot streak thing, not really a thing to me. San Diego taking on San Francisco. We don't have an official starter here on the San Diego side, so that is what it is. I think we get the 18.5 outs for Logan Webb, and I do think it's something to take a look at. San Diego's offense, if Jackson Merrill isn't completely right, which it just seems like he isn't at the moment, this is kind of a problematic spot for them, and they're going to be dogs to San Francisco. I think no matter who they roll out, it's probably a pretty sizable dog, if I'm being honest, better than minus 140, minus 150, and that kind of makes the San Diego lineup look appealing on the surface, but this sinker is just working for Logan Webb here, and he gives up hard contact, but he's back in his home ballpark. He gets to go up against a lineup that has Gavin Sheets, who's been awesome, and the one time we bet him to homer, he does. That feels good. You got Jake Cronenworth at the bottom of the lineup, lefty, and you got Jackson Merrill, who I talked about, but is kind of dinged up. I just don't love the construction of this lineup here yet again today. It just becomes kind of a clear-cut, for me, spot to back Logan Webb in some capacity if you can make it work. It's not something I'm in love with the way that I'm in love with some other plays coming up here. I've got one in particular that I really wanted to highlight, but Jason Hayward on the IL, Gavin Sheets did get dinged up over the weekend, and Jackson Merrill has not looked entirely right. I think you could see 21.5 outs as some alt numbers maybe on Logan Webb, something to take a look at for tomorrow, and I will definitely be hitting up the premium Discord. As for Brandon Nimmo, the only of like the main core guys that ends up not in the lineup because they faced a lefty there in Palmquist on Sunday. And all of the main guys go yard. Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, and Pete Alonso. Polar Bear starting to come back to life here after an 18-game homerless streak that he had leading into Sunday Night Baseball last Sunday. And they just let that be known, and that became like automatic home run territory. Hey, we got the Shohei Ohtani half-unit bomb on Sunday. Last Sunday, that was. Today, we did not play that. As for Brandon Nimmo, though, he ends up not in the lineup. There's definitely some ways that I want to invest in him in this spot. Not sure how I want to go about it, but I do want to see the lineup order because you're getting Starling Marte back into the mix, and it seems like they're going to utilize him against righties as well. And then you get Mark Vientos, who gets buried to the bottom of the lineup. Not sure what to make of that. But Brett Beatty was batting 5th against a lefty in Palmquist today. I think Beatty kind of reduces the equity for Brandon Nimmo where you could see him drop down further in the order. I'm going to wait for the lineup order to come out before I verify anything here, but anything with a 4 in front of it for Brandon Nimmo is at least appealing, and anything with a 5 in front of it will probably get auto bet, even if he's batting 5th or 6th. So, do you want to see what the Mets are doing here with Brett Beatty, with Starling Marte, with some of these other pieces, because lineup order really matters when you're projecting home runs. More opportunities to hit one, that is always better. Alrighty, y'all, let's get to the likes, but first, Portfolio EV. Again, 7 games on the card. Hit that like button for us here. We got 3 that we're going to cover here in the like section, but get yourself 2 weeks free to get tons of bets, a lot more than 3 that are going to be popping. It is market-based betting, and that is the name of the game here at Portfolio EV, where you don't even have to know about the WNBA or the NHL or anything with the NBA Finals in order to make some wagers over there. No, it's going to push everything to the top of the board. 2 free weeks of Portfolio EV, Lindy 1. Get the best bets on the board. If you have questions about how to build the portfolio, my DMs are open over on X, as well as in the premium Discord. Would love to help you out. But Lindy 1, get yourself a ton of market-based bets for this lovely Monday slate we have before us. Alrighty, y'all, to the plays we go. Hit that like button for me as we begin our actual card. We have the Angels and Mr. Anderson on the mound. Tyler Anderson going up against Richard Fitz. He's not really giving me fits. I think he's pretty straightforward in terms of how to break him down. He's a guy, 4-seamer, slider, sweeper. That's going to be a primary offering of what we're getting from him. And I went through each individual pitch. And I wrote a couple of notes because I really didn't know a lot about Richard's fits and how he's going to fit into the complexion of this slate, because he hadn't pitched since April 12th. He had been dinged up, but comes back out, 3 innings pitched. It's going to be more of a bullpen type situation, but I don't love what I'm seeing from him. I don't think he's all that good here at the moment. And there's a ceiling that could exist. He's only 25 years of age. He came up in the Yankees organization, and then those Yankees who turned into Boston Red Sox. You know, they've had some success in life, and the inverse with Babe Ruth seems to be true too. But 4.12 expected ERA next to a 2.70 ERA. And then the weather looks extremely favorable. Brought this up on the onset. Fenway slightly out, but I think it's going to help a lot for righty power and for a lot of these guys pulling it into the green monster where doubles, triples, single base hits. I think runs are going to be up and plenty here at Fenway. And I think also with Tyler Anderson, You get into Fenway here, and it plays harder for lefty power than what you would think, considering Duran and Devers and Abreu. These are guys that are routinely showing up at shorter odds home runs guys, or I guess Duran really isn't, but we know this power speed combination that he has. It's just that Tyler Anderson, it plays shorter for righty power, and with the wind blowing out that direction, this is a terrible spot for a fly ball Tyler Anderson to walk into. 20.8 degree launch angle is way up there. Some of these max exit velocity spots, 3.96 expected ERA next to a 3.39 ERA, along with four-seamer changeup, they're not going to fool anybody here in this Red Sox lineup. And I do think you are just asking for problems here. 9.5 is your opening number. It's minus 115 everywhere, but I've got this closer to 10.5 as is. The more you model it, the more you like it. Over 9.5, let's go. This one's confusing to me, and it seems a little chasey considering Milwaukee sweeps the Phillies over the weekend. Did not see that one coming, and Christian Yelich also got dinged up at the end of that game. We're going to get an x-ray on him on Monday morning. I doubt we end up finding anything else out with him whatsoever. I don't think it looked terrible. He ended up getting dinged on the hand, hit by a pitch, but overall, Christian Yelich is very, very important to the complexion of this team. But with the low launch angle and now Great American Small Park, I'm not saying it's something I don't care about because I absolutely do, but you could get automatic at-bats for Jake Bauers. Jake Bauers never gets in these lineups, and it's just so frustrating to me because he's always jumping at the top in terms of hard hit data. Just something to keep in mind. But we're talking Milwaukee and Cincy, and the pitching matchup in this one is very, very standout to me from a starter perspective. And then I'm not completely sold that Cincinnati's bullpen is going to continue to be as good as what they've been with Emilio Pagan. I mean, I'm very familiar with him as a Twins fan, and Santillan, who just has terrible advanced metrics and is a fly ball pitcher. I think there's negative regression posted on for them as well. But with this starting pitcher matchup that we have before us, Aaron Savale on one side, Brady Singer on the other, I think it's pretty neutral. I think it's a pretty neutral matchup overall. Brady Singer, really hard hit, 91.2 degree exit velocity, averaging off the bat is way up there for starting pitchers, 16 degree launch angle. And then a lot of just contact lefties, whether it's Bryce Terang, who just doesn't strike out a ton. I mean, he strikes out more than I thought he did at 22.3%. Brought up Jake Bauers with his hard contact, Sal Frelick as well. It's just an interesting lineup you get day in, day out, and Milwaukee can be pesky. And then they've got the big boppers. If Yelich is available, that would shock me, but wouldn't hurt my feelings. William Contreras has positive regression for him. Jackson Chourio has positive regression for him. And then Rhys Hoskins has been on a bender. So I think this is a really easy Milwaukee money line click with a plus sign in front of it. Shouldn't be 50-50. Should not. Sweep of the Phillies. Even removing that considered, it just makes all the sense in all the land. I do think Savale is below average major league pitcher, but I think Brady Singer kind of falls into that category here as well with what I'm looking at, both around 11% barrel percentages. And then I just trust the Milwaukee lineup day in, day out more than I do Cincinnati, especially against a righty. Lefties, that's a different conversation, but Milwaukee money line, I like it. Last game, let's get to it. Said at the onset, obviously we have more time to be able to talk through this one, but Minnesota and the Athletics, I don't know what I want to do with this, but I will play something. And I want to give you two opportunities to potentially look at it. And well, I wasn't just going to give you two plays and get out of here. I want something here in this one. It looks incredible for hitting tomorrow at Sutter Health Park. And I am worried that this line gets pushed up because it opened at FanDuel. And FanDuel is sharper booked than people realize when it comes to MLB, but plus 102 on the over of 9.5. It's a little bit interesting to me because I do think 10.5, not quite the Fenway spot here, but I mean, I would be setting the line a little bit more in the like minus 110, minus 115, 9.5 category. And for it to open at plus 102 and only one book has it out and it's FanDuel that confident to put it out, I'm a little bit worried because Luis Severino is not good on the athletic side. As for Minnesota here, Joe Ryan heading into this one, he's been revelatory this season, but he's a fly ball pitcher, giving up tons of barrels against an Oakland lineup that, I mean, they've been worse than you would want over the course of the last few weeks. That's why they're nearly 10 games under 500, but I'm very much interested in the bats on both sides. I also think the Athletics are undervalued in this spot, considering plus 136 could move into the plus 140, plus 145 territory, where I'd have to bet against a fly ball pitcher with the wind blowing out in Oakland. I just don't know what I want yet, and that's why I'm going to throw both up on the screen for you. Oakland, money line lean like, and over 9.5 lean like. If you want to know what I end up on here in this game, hit me up on X at Eric Lindquist. Happy to let you know. But overall, be aware. Something is showing up on the card in the premium Discord tomorrow. You could also sign up for that, Lindy 5, down below. Would love to have you there. But I expect offense, like I normally do in these AAA ballparks here in Steinbrenner Field out in Tampa. Oh, Sacramento. Let's get it going. Over 9.5. Oakland money line. Something is showing up in this one. And that does it for a quick and easy edition of MLB Lindy's here on Monday. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this lovely slate we have before us. Huge week of baseball coming up here. Baseball almost exclusively. Obviously, I'll mix in a little WNBA based on what I see out in the streets here at Tails. And we'll have the live show going with Eitan Tuesday through Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific. Would love to see you guys there for the live show. Myself and Eitan Shander. Thank you, producer Jacob. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.